And we're back with another no flightless live stream. How is everyone's day going so far? What is going on? Hopefully everyone's weekend was fantastic because we are back in it again with another fantastic week for savings and just talking airsoft. But let's see, first and foremost, again, guys, welcome everyone. Welcome everyone to the live stream. If you haven't already, make sure to leave a like on this stream and share this around with everybody that you know, airsofter or not. Let's get all eyes on this stream. And for anyone that is looking to get extra entries into this week's shopping spree giveaway, this is definitely the place where you're going to want to hang out. Make sure to go ahead and stay tuned for all the promotions, everything going on. You're going to want to make sure that you are here. But let's see, first and foremost, let's see who is here in the chat. E. Sanchez first. What's going on, dude? Good to see you. Skunkland. Hello. Crazy J, good to see you, my man. Enrique Alonso. Hello. I'll be answering that question as well. It's a fantastic question. Joseph Keene, my dude, how's it going on, man? Haven't been here in a while. It seems like you were just here yesterday, even though I didn't stream yesterday. A lot of stuff has been going on behind the scenes. Fish Tickum, yo, good to see you as well, my man. Dark Tree, what is happening, brother? What is happening? Alvin11, hello. Not been on a live stream in a hot minute. It's good to see you, man. It's good to see you. Is it same business as usual? We hanging out here, man. We hanging out here with all the members of the Airsoft community that wants to pull through. If you guys haven't already, make sure to leave a like on this live stream. Let people know that we are going live. Let people know that we are live and we are here ready to play. We are here ready to go and hang out with the rest of the Airsoft community, answer your Airsoft questions, and just talk Airsoft, man. That's literally what we're here for. We're all here because we love this community, and we want it to continue growing. So share this around. I see that we're already over 30-something viewers right now. If you guys can, only at 8 likes right now. Make sure to leave a like right now. Make sure to go and leave a thumbs up on this live stream. You guys want us to continue with these live streams? You guys want us to continue giving away, doing all this giveaway stuff? Then make sure that you leave a like. Make sure that you leave a like. You see the title, you want to win $500. This is going to be your best shot at being able to increase your odds of winning that $500 prize pot as part of this week's Shopping Spree giveaway. But it is good to see you again, Alvin11. I have not seen you in a hot minute. Darwin's Arbiter, my man. How you seen? Acredics, what's good, man? What's up and what's poppin'? Black Brick, dude, good to see you again, man. Aiden Chestnut, hello. Good to see you as well. Oppressive Airsoft user, good to see you. Zeke Graham, hello. Full Send Northwest, what's up? What's up with you, man? What's up? Fastman 24 Poggers, man. This week, maybe the last week of the Shopping Spree giveaway. Should we continue? Holy crap, we got a new poll going on right now. Should we be continuing? Guys, make sure that you leave your vote down in this poll we're going on right now. Again, Bossman just dropped this in. This week might be the last week for the Shopping Spree giveaway. Should we be continuing? You guys are going to need to make sure that you go ahead and leave your votes in, and make sure you leave a like on this live stream. Get those orders in now while you guys can. If you guys want the extra entries into this week's coming potentially last Shopping Spree giveaway ever, potentially the last one, I'm going to strongly recommend that you get those orders in now while you guys can. This week very well might be the last week for the giveaway. So if you guys want us to continue, got to make sure that you are participating. You got to make sure that you're participating and you get those orders in. This might be history in the making. This might be history in the making. This might be history in the making where, again, whoever wins this next pot very well might be the very last winner of the Shopping Spree giveaway. Right, so make sure to get those orders in now while you guys can. Remember, every $50 you spend will be getting you 5 entries into the Shopping Spree giveaway. And orders for a Mayo Gang MGC4, the airsoft gun built to dominate the airsoft field. Literally meant to own the competition, help you stack as many bodies as you possibly can on the field. This is going to be your best shot of doing so. Get those MGC4 orders in. Don't miss out. Get them in. Again, it's literally the best AEG that you're going to get right out of the box, coming included with all the necessities you would need, and then some of a modern-day competition rifle. 603 Type 4 inner barrel, rotary-style hop-up chamber. Again, quick change spring system. The Nebula Mossad, which is freaking sweet, by the way. Freaking fantastic. It absolutely slaps. Highly recommend that you get yours in now, because, again, even at that $315 price point, it is so much more. It is so much more. It is so freaking worth it, right? Get those orders in. There are still plenty of deals going on as well. You can get 10% off your essentials, like your BBs, batteries, gas, all your essentials there. 10% off magazine, 10% off popular airsoft brands as well. Like again, some of your favorite models and brands. We're talking like everything from Elite Force, G&G, Lancer Tactical, Classic Army. Lancer Tactical and Classic Army specifically, the Lancer Pro Line series are discounted 20% off, and Classic Armies are 20% off as well. And that will also extend to certain tactical gear as well. And for everything else, always getting new members involved in this, and we get a lot of new people that just watch in and don't really want to participate. Really, at the end of the day, you know. We get a lot of newer players that love to, or new people that love to watch, but don't really get involved. You know what I mean? So it is unfortunate, but if it has to happen, it has to happen. We need to see people getting involved in this and sharing around as much as possible. Sharing around as much as possible is the biggest weapon we have against the YouTube algorithm that really does not favor any of our content. Yeah, so, let's see, Indiana Jackson. There we go. Good to see you, cool kid. Hello. How old is your What's up? Never stop the shopping spree, random emoji airsoft. Yeah, if it were up to me, we would be continuing the shopping spree giveaway forever. But again, we need people participating up the wazoo in order for us to be able to continue doing all this. So, just saying. Let's see here. Yes, I'm actually getting it in this week for an order for my son. Hey, there you go. That poll, though, hey, it is what it is. It is what it is. We got to do what we got to do, man. I'm known as the T1 Ghost Soldier Airsoft Warfare, Todd Williams. Well, okay, I'll have to look you up, man. I'll have to look you up as well. Patiently waiting for the bullpen to ship out, the same in the Mark III. Again, Mark III should be arriving fairly soon. Again, it should be now within the next 2 months, I believe. The next 2 months, I believe, it's supposed to get going on. Cool kid, I've never once played Airsoft. Well, we're going to have to change that, man. We are definitely going to have to change that as soon as we possibly can. Get you all the necessities you need to get out into the field and have yourself a grand old time, man. Let's see. Gladiator. 1 second. There you go. All right, cool. Please answer that one. First electric airsoft gun, 8-inch chestnut. Yep. That would be your first one. That would be first. Going for an AG would be the first one as well. All right, might as well go ahead and get started. So, as is per tradition for my No Flight List live stream, this is a Q&A live stream. So, if any of you guys have any airsoft-related questions, feel free to go ahead and put your questions down into the live chat. So, yay. Here. There you go. Put your questions down in the live chat. Just the only thing I ask is that you do put the letter Q right in front of your question. Definitely makes it a heck of a lot easier for me to spot and identify. You're more than welcome to ask your question more than once if I haven't already answered it. However, anything more than twice, and it is going to be considered spam. So, avoid that. Let's not have that all together because we don't want to kick anyone. We don't want to ban anyone. So, make sure to go ahead and just be patient. I will come around to your question as soon as I possibly can. If you guys are looking for product recommendations, maybe my opinions on certain things, or you just want to go ahead and ask me personal questions, or my guest personal questions as well, you guys are more than welcome to do so. Also, as per tradition for my No Flight List live streams, I usually will have a guest on as well. A guest joining me, doing a little bit of Q&A right with him as well. This guest is actually someone very special to me. This person has actually been one of my best friends for the longest time. One of my longest lasting best friends, literally ever. We've met literally since freshman year in high school. And he has been kind of an ambassador for Airsoft for his area because we did move into different parts of California. But he has been holding down the front and really trying to get the Airsoft movement going out near like Pismo Beach, Northeast Central California area. He is I believe he's still a representative for Gladiator Paintball Park as well. Again, this is my good buddy, Mr. Nicholas Waugh, or otherwise known as Slow Soft on IG. He's been one of my good buddies for a very long time, and I'm going to give him a call right now. Let's go ahead and call him up, make sure that we are good. Okay. Make sure there. Giving him a call. Hello.
Hello. How do I sound? Do I sound too echoey?
You sound good on my end. Just do me a favor. Do a mic check 1 2 3 for the rest of the chat to hear, just to confirm.
All right, 1 2 3, 1 2 3. Can y'all hear me? 1 2 3.
All right, that should be good. Yeah, I'm pretty sure. Yeah, pretty sure. All right, cool. Well, first and foremost, I want to give a big thank you to you, my friend, for actually joining me on tonight's live stream. I know it was a little last minute, but I was struggling to actually find a guest, and I remembered, you know what? You actually are a pretty I don't want to say that. I'm gonna give you the whole. I'm gonna stroke your ego a little bit. You are kind of a big deal in the sort of airsoft scene where you're from, where you're playing at right now, where you're based out of. But for anyone that doesn't know, you want to give yourself a little introduction.
Yeah. Well, how do I say this? Like what, 15,000 years ago, I played airsoft over in the Hollywood sports area, and then well, we actually did paintball first, and after getting my fix of that, then we jumped into the airsoft scene with my buddy Isaias, and we've been doing that for a long time until I moved up north. And I was trying to find my fix because, after not airsofting for too long, you start getting that itch, you start getting that crave. So I found a paintball park, but they didn't have airsoft there. They had it for like private parties and such. Mm-hmm. So when I got the job there as reffing for paintball for a bit, I was a very big advocate for pushing airsoft there.
Absolutely. And you've done a pretty good job.
Just getting the ball rolling with it. Yeah.
Yeah, you've
yeah, no,
No, go for it. You're good. I don't want to interrupt you.
Oh no. No, you're good. Yeah, no, it's just been pushing it out from seeing like 10 players out there to seeing 30 to 50 players out there on Sundays.
No, that's good. I mean, like, considering where it had initially started, right? This is one of those cases where, airsoft is, a lot of people find themselves in this situation where, airsoft just isn't as big or isn't as even known about in certain areas. So it's up to guys like you to be able to go ahead and then, the rest of us as well, right? Guys that find themselves in similar situations to really kind of bring awareness as to what airsoft really is, how people can get involved, and to actually just start organizing it. Because you are currently you're still a member of a Gladiator Paintball Park, correct?
Correct. I'm the airsoft manager there.
Okay, so there is an actual like paintball and airsoft section. You manage all airsoft everything there, correct?
Yeah, everything airsoft. I'm trying to get with products there too and such, but I mostly host games and special events.
Gotcha. And that's actually something cool. That's actually very difficult for anyone that doesn't know, because we get a lot of people asking us on pretty much every facet of social media, when's the next airsoft event? When's the next, whatever, when's the next BB Wars? When's the next game that you guys are hosting? Planning events is very difficult.
Yeah, I could say that with the vein showing in my head for events, especially when you do your first one, man. Oh, it is nerve-wracking as all hell. It is legit nerve-wracking, especially when you have like 70 to 80 people trying to like get them all listening and stuff like that. It's like trying to herd cats sometimes.
Just trying to herd them all in one time. No, yeah, and then the worst part is too, because we've been on the other end of this as well, where it's like you do everything you're supposed to, right? You do everything right. You have all the dates set. You're organized, like everything's good, and then either it be like some like miscommunication with like another party, like the field host, right? The field host says, "Oh yeah, we need to reschedule," or "Oh, we actually overbooked for this day," or some bullshit comes out of the way that just kind of ruins everything. I'm sure you can understand that feeling.
Oh, no, definitely. Especially for the events that we try to set up at our place. We usually have it on a military base at a training facility, and trying to talk to the military base half of the time is like, it's like playing telephone with them. Sometimes they'll pick up, and about a year later, they'll give you a call back and saying that, oh, we're all reserved up and stuff like that. So it's very nerve-wracking sometimes trying to get stuff going with there, or trying to get everyone, like the other management and stuff like that, to like hear it out, because once you say something that exactly comes out from your mouth saying, hey, we're going to do it like this, and this is what I was thinking we're going to do for it, sometimes it comes out a whole different way from other management and such, and you're like, how the hell did you guys get that? So it's, as I said before, it's very difficult to try to get that verbal communication.
No, I 100% get that. Especially, again, when they're not in person, it's kind of hard, or like you can't get like agreed upon it. Trust me, I totally get that as well. But that you've actually come a very, very long way from when we first started. But my question was, as someone now looking back who has, made a really big movement in airsoft in sort of like the Pismo Beach kind of area, what kind of got you started in airsoft in the first place? Like, what was your actual very first exposure to like airsoft ever?
Oh man, you're bringing up the memories over here. Well, I started playing airsoft, or airsoft like back then when the dinosaurs used to run. Well, back in the early 2000s, if you guys know. But I would usually just get like a cheap not pellet gun, a BB gun, and then I would just like shoot targets, and they got me more interested in airsoft. I would go to the flea market sometimes that they would have in Ohio, you get the cheapest ones, and just have me and my buddy just shoot at each other, just no cover, just running up, point blank, all that type of stuff with eye protection.
I was about to ask, please tell me you guys are wearing eye protection.
Yeah, yeah, definitely we're wearing that. If goggles counted for it. I mean, the thing's only shot like at 20 FPS, but still, eye protection all the way. Do not skimp out on that. But yeah, no. When I was a kid, just doing that type of stuff, and then actually getting my first airsoft gun when I was a kid. It was actually on Christmas. I forget what year, but it was an expensive Springer that I got, and I remember. The first time I ever got one, I was so excited. And then my dad ended up shooting me in the back with it to say that, oh, yeah, well, don't shoot people when they don't get when they don't want to get shot. So
shot
that was my first lesson in it.
I love how that was your dad who was like the first one to instill that in you. He's like, oh, go run over there. Gets shot in the back. Okay, don't shoot other people. Like, what the fuck?
Yeah. It wasn't even that. It was that. But the thing is, he's like, oh yeah, there's something else underneath the tree, and I went over there and I just got shot in the back.
Brother, what a jerk!
I just got duped, man. I just got duped. But yeah, no. I think with airsoft though, it officially kicked in when I moved out to California. Definitely doing paintball was definitely the driving force of it. I think I only played paintball once. I think it was for your birthday too.
Yeah, it was for
Honestly,
my birthday.
That was.
I remember like at this time, like when we were like met in freshman year. Well, my freshman year, your sophomore year. That like you had like sort of shown me what these airsoft guns were, but they were like the Springers and like the Walmart specials. The Walmart Thompson, if you remember that one. It was all those.
Yeah, definitely.
It was all those, and I was like, oh man, these are cool, but we're just mostly playing in your backyard, after school, after water polo practice. So it was just like doing that, playing COD, of course, and just mixing that with airsoft a little bit. But we never really thought that we would be able to go to a field. It wasn't until we went paintballing that when we saw it like being played for the first time that we're like, yo, they play that here? And then, of course, we feel like idiots. I feel like we were living under a rock because it's like, turns out, yeah, Southern California is basically like the mecca of like airsoft. It's literally like the whole like central port. Like airsofting's huge out here. I mean, obviously it's not mainstream, but like still, it's like so much bigger here than like most other states. And I would have never even known until we had actually gone paintballing, and it all just kind of spiraled from there. Do you remember your first serious airsoft gun, like actual like skirmish worthy airsoft gun?
Oh man, I mean, out of all the ones I've owned, there was one that particular that I remember owning for a bit before trading. I believe it was like I don't know, the Echo One still exists, but Echo One M4 AEG. Oh, they still do?
Oh yeah, Echo One 100% still exists. Now, granted, they haven't really been coming out with a ton of like super hot seller models recently. However, there's been 3 models that they've come out with that have actually been like really, really freaking dope. You actually would appreciate this one. I'm gonna leave a link to it into the live chat, but it's called the Echo One PMG. The PMG is actually a super affordable. We're talking like sub $300 polymer minigun that's AEG powered. It's not HPA. It's literally an AEG that's just a super small, compact minigun. That's like, it's super fast rate of fire. It's only powered by 111 LiPo battery. Like, it's freaking sick, dude. Like, this thing is actually really freaking cool. They have that, and they actually have, the P15, and it's basically like a lot of like polymer, more affordable options that they have, but they come included, of course, with pre-installed ETUs, polymer upper and lower receivers. Like, they've been coming out with some stuff. It's just a little bit slower to come out, but they've been very, very good, actually. We actually have a very cool video highlighting a few of their options coming this Friday, so guys, make sure you stay tuned for that. But yeah, Echo One is still around for sure. They haven't really innovated too much in recent years. It's only been very recently that they've been coming out with a lot of stuff. But okay, so Echo One M4, that was like your first serious competition AEG?
Yeah, I don't even think it was brand new. I think I bought it from someone back, like one of our buddies. He was just getting out of, like, he's like, oh yeah, I just don't want it anymore. It was $100. I remember the price, $120 for it. And I used all the high cap mags, so I sounded like a freaking rattler at Hollywood Sports.
Dude, that's so fun. Yeah. I remember using the high caps. Honestly, those. You know what? As much as like we love to talk shit about high caps, like on the airsoft field, at the end of the day, High caps still work, man. There's always still a time and place for high caps. If you just need a magazine that's going to hold a shit ton of BBs and you don't want to have to worry about reloading and you don't mind the noise or having to wind a wheel, high cap magazines are not that bad of a deal, man.
No, they're good, and they're also great too to distract people. So if you have one and they're looking for you, just throw it in the corner. They'll look in that corner, and then you can just shoot them.
Oh yes, has about as usefulness.
Always think about your surroundings.
Has about as much usefulness as a rock. Just throw that in a corner. Yeah. All right, guys. Speaking of magazines, right now you can get 10% off magazines in addition to a lot of other essentials, including BBs, batteries, gas, literally all that you need to get out and play on the field. We're all airsofters. We all need the essentials, so you might as well shop at the guys that are going to reward you best and reward your $20 plus order with a shot at winning a shopping spree giveaway, potentially our last shopping spree giveaway, and it's a $500 prize spot, so get those orders in before it's too late. Right now, every $50 you spend will be getting you 5 entries, but that's only going to be lasting until the end of the live stream at 9:30 p.m. So hurry up right now and get those orders in. You do not want to go out and miss out. Okay, so now that you have your first starter like AEG, like you're starting to go out and play and everything, how long was it that you were running like the AEG before you just switched over to like a gas blowback? Because that's actually been something that gas blowbacks have been kind of the hot deal right now in Airsoft. So how long were you playing with AEGs before you made the switch over? Because I know that's what you play a lot with right now.
Oh yeah, no, man, that's been a while. I think once I started moved out to the northern part of California, that's when I started jumping into gas because originally I obviously when you start airsoft you want to be like, hey, I just want to get something that goes with it, and seeing people running gas blowbacks is like, why, like man, this would be a lot of money, this and that. And this is like early like 2010 era or like 2013 where gas guns weren't as popular. So it's just one of those things where it's like why would you want to run that? But I think when I opened up my third eye to the gas blowback area, it's kind of like, oh my god, this is so much fun. But yeah, no, I've been using AEGs for quite a long time, and I don't think I've ever went back to an AEG since 2020.
Okay. So you've been mostly just sticking with the gas blowback hype train, but you've also been dipping your toes in the HPA as well. You have a few HPA setups as well, am I correct?
Yeah, actually, I do have a VFC M249 with an HPA setup with it. It was gas blowback, but since I want to try to use it for more Milsim-esque type of games, I thought, hey, HPA would be the way to go for it.
Okay.
But I'm trying to think too if I have anything else that's HPA. Man, I used to run a good amount of HPA stuff. I used back then when I was in my SPQB type of era.
You went through a few phases.
Yes, so many phases, man. I would run a gas blowback. I would run what do you call them? Air attack valves. And all my mags, 30-round mags. I think I have a picture of it too. I look back at it and I'm like, oof. I'm like, a little rough.
Yeah, you definitely went through like a lot of phases, but you know what? That's actually kind of a good thing. This is actually something that I've been kind of talking about for a while. It's actually one of our videos that more or less kind of blew up like recent. One of our more recent uploads was, why do people keep quitting Airsoft? How to keep Airsoft interesting. Because we do find that, like most hobbies, the statistic is within the first 2 years, you're the most normal people. We're definitely not normal. Within the first 2 years, you will usually be the most involved in your hobby. You usually spend the most amount of money. You'll be the most involved. But then after the 2 years, roughly, people will start to grow out of it or just drop the hobby altogether. And I've been trying to come up with ways for people to, maybe keep Airsoft interesting and keep it enjoyable for a lot of people. Have you ever gone through any phases? I think I already know the answer, but have you ever gone through any periods of time in your life where you felt Airsoft was like, just got really boring, or that you just got kind of tired of it, or maybe even burnt out from Airsoft?
Yeah, man. So when I started working at Gladiator Park, and I'd pretty much be at the park every Sunday. I would play some games, and then I would keep an eye on things just to make sure. This is when I was still running like an HPA setup, and I started feeling the burnout a little bit with it, especially if you go to the same field every single time, knowing the maps, knowing the players and stuff like that, which is always great, but like sometimes you can get that just burnout where it's like, I need to do something new with it. And I think that's when gas blowback started like kicking a little bit more in there. Not because not because, but how gas blowbacks work, it's just it puts you at a whole different level playing against other players.
Yeah.
Like I'm not there to be like super competitive, like, oh, I'm John Wick throwing a mag around, going to take out these players. No. It's being somewhat realistic, knowing, okay, I got 30 rounds in this and there's like 10 players around that corner. There's no way in heck I'm going to be going over there and trying to like take all of them out. I could if I wanted to, but that would be like the 1% chance of me surviving that. So I think definitely jumping to a different platform and knowing what you're getting into definitely breathed more life into me. And now for me right now, I'm actually been hitting up different fields in California, which is one of my bucket lists, is try to visit every field in California.
No, dude, that's actually a very similar goal that I have. My goal is to be able to do a road trip through all out the U.S. and maybe even more at some point, but be able to do a road trip and maybe even vlog it too, of like playing at every single field that I can possibly, even if it's like a really, really small or even the unofficial fields. I just really want to be able to check out like what the scene is like in every single state and like major area in the U.S. just so I can get a feel for it and meet members of the community, because there's a lot of people who play Airsoft, man. There's a lot of people who play Airsoft in the U.S., even though it's not like, I would say, as big as paintball or as mainstream. There's a lot of people, especially I feel like recently, who have gotten more into Airsoft. I feel like it's definitely a lot more popular now than it was when we first started playing, for sure, because at least now to an extent, there's a lot of people who at least know what Airsoft is versus having to do the explanation to every single person that ever asks us, like, oh, what do you like to do for fun? I play Airsoft. What's that? Oh, I get it. I don't mind doing it, but it's like I feel like I get a lot less of that. But no, that's a very similar goal to what I have as well. And chat knows this as well. I've been talking about being able to do a road trip for Airsoft exclusively for a long time. But you hit the nail on the head, man. That's one of the things that helps keep Airsoft interesting for me, is trying out different platforms, trying out different things. Because you're right, playing the same thing over and over again, yeah, it's going to get really repetitive. It's going to get really boring. And yeah, of course, it's going to end up leading to you getting burnt out as much. Do you remember what the first platform that was? Because I know we all started on M4s, and I remember specifically you started off with M4s as well. Do you remember the first time that you got something different, and what was it?
I think the first thing I forgot, and I'm embarrassed to say this, it was a high kappa. I traded for an M4 because I'm like, oh man, this is so cool. This is like when I played at Hollywood Sports. I forgot what brand it was, but it looked really nice. However, when I got the trade and I went home, this is when I first started doing Airsoft. Mm-hmm. There was no inner barrel in there. So every single time I shoot, the BBs just roll out. And I was like, oh, I got duped real bad with this one.
Dude, that's why Airsoft trades, man. Trades in Airsoft don't always go the way you think. So if you want to go out and get that secured order, I'm going to highly recommend you place your orders right now through Airsoft GI. Every $20 is going to get you an automatic entry into this week's shopping spree giveaway. However, every $50 you spend gets you 5 entries into this week's shopping spree, but only until the end of the stream at 9:30, which is literally about an hour and 30 minutes, so don't miss out. Get those orders in. We have thousands of products that are discounted right now, and plenty of items that can actually get you multiple entries. You order right now the Tandem Cross Cthulhu, for example, at any point, and that'll be getting you 10 entries into the shopping spree giveaway. There's still plenty of combos, new products that are available as well. And if you want to see the rules for the shopping spree giveaway yourself, I'm going to leave a link to them into the live chat right there for everyone to go ahead and see right then and there. All right, so continuing on, do you remember the first time you got like a unique I mean, I don't really consider high cap as unique, I'll be honest. High capas are very much like, you see them everywhere. I mean, granted, I don't know what it's like over there, but you see a high cap is pretty much everywhere in Airsoft. But do you remember the first time you got, say, something different like, I don't know, like an AK or like a G3 or just something really weird or bizarre?
You know what? You know what? You did bring up something. It was actually a WeTech L85 gas blowback.
I remember
So
this
that was
gun.
like the first dipping in gas blowbacks, and I ran how difficult it was and hitting my teeth with the bolt lock and stuff like that. Yeah, that was something.
I remember that gun. I remember that was your first ever gas blowback. And here's the thing, guys: the first time you ever get into gas blowbacks, yeah, especially if you're trying to get a project gun, which this was for all intents and purposes was going to be. This was going to be a project gun. Man, oh man, it's funny that you said the bolt catch too, because like on most like WeTech like M4s, that is one thing that I would always recommend. As soon as you buy the gun, you might want to look into. That's like the first failure point for that gun is going to be um, the bolt catch. So I would recommend maybe looking into an upgrade part for one of those. But hey, you know what? It was fun. But you also are the type of person that doesn't really hold on to guns for very long. You are definitely a person who loves to trade as much as you possibly can. Am I correct? And what's the reason for it? Because he always. I'll call you out a little bit. He calls him out. I'm gonna call him out a little bit. This man always goes, I'm in love with this airsoft gun. I'm gonna keep it no matter what. This is like the newest thing. I'm gonna keep this. It's gonna be my go-to. I'm not gonna trade this. And then like a month later, he ends up getting rid of it. So enlighten me. What is the reason for this?
Yes, we're going down the deep train with this one. Yeah, it's a weird thing because it's one of those things where it's like I am so focused on building a certain thing. And then once I get my use of it, or if I feel like I got all my fun with it, then I look into something else to trade for that is like, oh, you know what? I haven't tried this one out. Or you know what? I've always wanted that type of platform. Let me trade you this and this. And I can't give you the exact number. I really wish I could, but how many guns I probably had in and out of my whole time playing airsoft was about maybe like 200 plus guns. No lie, I've gone through so many of them. I can't. There's no definitive answer for it. So yeah, I don't know. For me, I like to call it the tisms when it comes to like looking for like what you want to get.
That's 100% what it is, dude. That's the tism striking it.
Yeah, and you know what? I'm not gonna lie either. I don't think I've changed at all when it comes to that. I have a betting pool at our park now of when I'm gonna keep something and when I'm gonna sell something. So
let's see,
it's
how
still
long
going
is
very strong to this day.
there's an actual pool going on. How long before Nick sells this new platform? Is it gonna be a week? He's coming up on 2 weeks now. Maybe someone's it didn't last 2 weeks. No, dude, I can totally see that happening because Justin is also another storefront. Justin, for everyone that doesn't know, is also he's the third amigo in this three amigos sort of thing that we got going on right now that we've had since high school. He was also coincidentally he was also into airsoft the same time we were, so that worked out freaking great for us. But yeah, no, we always have a poll every time that like between he and I, whenever he tells me, oh yeah, did you see Nick's new gun? I'm like, oh, what is it this time, and how long is he gonna keep it for? How long is this one gonna last? And then it's usually like, yeah, he got rid of it. Are there any guns though that you have in your collection at all that you've kept on to like to this day that you still have?
Oh man, you know what? I still have some of my part of my. It actually, I believe I got it at GI a long time ago. It was the KWA PTS M4 electric blowback M4.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. That's a classic.
Yeah.
It's got the Magpul receiver on that too, huh?
It had everything on it, my dude. It had everything on it. And then I took it in to get it teched out there with a new barrel and bucking to it. And let me just say, that thing shot beams. That shot beams, my friends.
Dude, I remember too when you first got it, and I was like so freaking like jealous of you. I remember still to this day, I'm actually still jealous of you that you have that. If you're ever gonna sell it to anyone, just hit me up. Anyway, but yeah, I remember when he got it, I was like so freaking jealous of him because I was like, oh man, this gun looks so freaking sick. Because they don't make that one anymore. They still have like their ERG lineup. It still exists, but they don't make it with the Magpul receiver anymore. That thing is 100% like a collector's piece. One of my other buddies, Trinity, she owns one as well, and I've told her, do not ever sell that. Like that, you keep that to your grave. You know what I mean? Like that is something that you never get rid of. But no, that's cool that you still kept that one. Is there anyone else, or you pretty much traded everything?
Um, I'm trying to think. I think right now I don't really have much else right now. Was in the process of moving, so there's a lot of things I wish I kept, and then some things I do still do have, but like as of right now, the longest thing I have is probably a gas bulb like VFC
Gotcha,
as
gotcha.
of right now.
Gotcha. Before we continue, guys, want to give a shout out to Robert. He got himself 5 extra entries. Cody got himself 15 extra entries. Kaye got himself 20 entries. Michael with the 40. Derek with the 5. Carlos with the 10. Guys, if you haven't already, get those extra entries in now while you can. Again, this very well might be the last shopping spree giveaway we ever do. It's a $500 prize pot, which you guys can win just by placing a $20 greater order. But during the duration of this stream, which is going to be ending at 9:30 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, every $50 gets you 5, and an order for a Mayo Gang MGC4 will be getting you 50. So don't miss out. Get those orders in now while you can, before it's too late. This very well might be the last shopping spree giveaway. Don't miss out. And my apologies, Kai, it's pronounced Cage. Okay, thank you, Jason. Thank you, Crazy J. Thank you. It's Cage with the extra entry. My apologies. Okay, so you've definitely been trading for a while, but you've also still gotten involved into sort of planning out all these sort of airsoft events. What's the scene when you first moved out there? What was the scene like for airs? Because I know airsoft did exist for private parties, you say, but what was sort of the airsoft scene? What was it? The airsoft environment? What was it looking like? Where did people mostly play? What was the style of play there? What type of players would you typically run into?
Oh man. So when I first moved out to here, it was probably like 2 or 3 months of me looking around for places. So I had to literally go on Facebook back then to kind of look up groups and stuff like that. And there were some groups here and there, like groups of people with 5 people in it. And then I found a group, it was 805 Airsoft. They usually go to properties of their friends and stuff like that to do some gameplays and stuff like that, or a riverbed that was close to one of their properties. And I remember the first time I went to that, which was located in Atascadero. It's all washed away now with all the rain that we got up here. But and that was 7 years ago.
Damn.
And let me just say, it was interesting. It was a very sandy, very coarse and sandy, like my favorite Star Wars character. I didn't like the sand, but it was interesting because there was a little bit of water there too. So this is when I decided to be oh, you know what? I got my all black kit ready to go and such.
Oh no.
And little did I know it was 107 degrees
Oh no.
over there. So I literally used the water to make me travel. I didn't even swim. I just let it take me to where it needed to take me. So
what's that black rock just floating down the river? Oh, it's a person. Yeah. Why is it shooting at me?
I just flipped over just to kind of merge with it. But yeah, it was a very tough. It was a very how do you say it? It was a very rough turn for me to kind of figure out how they played, because a lot of it's all outdoors and woodland type, which is definitely something that I'm not really used to. I'm used to the urban combat and a little bit of grass here and there, but not as much as it hiding behind a tree, hiding underneath a bush. Oh, you got to watch out for these players that have all this setup and stuff like that. I just felt like I stood out like a thumb out there.
No, that makes sense.
But I won't regret it. It was a lot of fun. It was a lot of fun doing that type of stuff, getting to know it and such. I'm still relatively learning how to do woodland and trying to get a kit going for that type of stuff. But for right now, urban warfare and urban for airsoft stuff is probably my best way to go.
Gotcha. Okay, so it was mostly a lot of woods ball players, guys that playing on private property and stuff. But I remember you specifically saying that we had a conversation about this a while back, that it was kind of hard to convince a lot of the players to actually come out, a lot of those same woodland players to go out to the field, obviously because of prices for the tickets and everything, and the rules that were being enforced. Because obviously when you're playing in private games, the rules can be as lax as you want to. You know what I mean? You all just agree hey, these are the rules we want to set forth and everything. But it was kind of hard to convince all the players to get onto the field and get the attendance that you have now. What was sort of the thing that you used to try to convince players to actually try, actually going onto the main official field?
Oh, okay. So yeah, when we first got out there, I actually got a private party of like some of the woodland players to go out there, and this is right before I was like trying to get a job there because I was already working two other jobs. But I was like, I could take one more as reffing, and like let me tell you this, like they had a manager there that didn't know anything about airsoft, and they were so used to serving out paint and stuff like that. So when we went to buy the BBs, and this is honestly got true, this is with the old owner. I think it was like the assistant manager or something like that. When we paid for our BBs, he was it was like a bottle of 5,000 BBs. He would charge them by like 500 BBs. He's like, okay, I'll charge you. We'll take 500 out of this bottle, and you'll get 500, like they do with paintball. So you like get half a box of paint. He would pour the BBs inside of a paint box. And he didn't count them. He just poured it. He's all right, that's 500. And I literally had to tell him, like, no. I'm like, you sell the whole bottle. And it was it's like seeing an alien the first time and trying to explain how, like, economics work.
What the fuck? I've never, ever heard that ever being a thing at any field, like, ever.
Yeah, it was really kind of like, I'm like, what are you doing? I'm just selling the BBs. He's like, oh, but we need the BBs. I'm like, you sell the whole bottle, my dude. Like, you could do that. I mean, I don't know what you're doing over here, man, but you sell the whole bottle. Jeez. And then that's when we started forming with Airsoft, and I started working reffing and stuff like that. I had like convinced my boss because he was like, well, the airsoft view out there wasn't as big, but I just told him like, hey, just give it some time, give it this and that. And they didn't have rentals at the park at that time for Airsoft. So people had to bring their own equipment, or I'd bring extra guns for people to use and stuff like that, just because they didn't have anything ready for it. But when we started getting the ball rolling with it, we got our first event. And I think that's when my boss saw how much potential they have with Airsoft out there, because we have an event called the Kill House, which takes place on the military base. We had about like 85 players for a 4-story, I think 35 bedroom, not bedroom, but 35 room training facility with an underground tunnel system that leads right to the house. And after my manager seeing, hey, there's potential with this, that's when they started saying, okay, we're going to start getting Airsoft going, this and that. It started off small. Started off with like 10 players that would come out to us Sunday, 15, and now with the numbers that we get are usually like 40 to like 60 players that come out to the field.
It's been a long time, but you've been able to get like at least like a decent amount of like people out there going. And again, I see, like, because I do notice that you actually do post. Are you in charge of the Gladiator Paintball Park Instagram as well?
No, we had someone else in charge with that for a bit. I am going to probably start getting the control over that here soon, just because they don't really have the person yet to do like the promotions. So I've been just posting on my own account or the group account that I have, and just making posts here and there and stuff like that.
No, because I have been noticing on your personal account, you've been like really on it. Like every year that you do the Kill House event, you usually do a really good job of like giving updates, like, hey, we have X amount of tickets available, make sure to get your orders in. We're gonna sell the tickets up until this point. You're usually you're really good about like trying to keep people up to date with like events like that. So it's actually really cool that you're doing that, even if you have to do it on your personal account. Yeah, hopefully you'll be able to take over like the main IG account for the park, because you definitely are doing a better job than they are. I mean, I've no shade throwing, but you definitely are on top of it a little bit more. But no, the event is actually really cool. Actually, how did you even come across like the military base, like, and what's the name of the military base as well?
It is, it's a National Guard. It's Camp Slow in San Luis Obispo, California. Well, the fun fact is that the park that we're at, we're literally right on the border of the military base, which they let us rent. They let our bosses rent out the land to do paintball there. Okay. So my old manager, he had connections to like the military base about using training facilities. I'm not exactly sure how that worked, but it worked for some reason. And my boss was like, hey, you guys want to try to use this? It's cheap to rent out. We could rent it out for a day and see what goes with it. And I was like, heck yeah, let's do it.
Dude, that's freaking awesome that you already had that connection beforehand. And like, how do the Kill House events themselves? You were able to get like a pretty decent turnout as well. Do you find that there are people usually only within the area, or do you find a few people coming out, making the drive out there to you guys as well?
Definitely we get some people that come from like the south of like California, some people from like the way up north and stuff like that. But we do get a lot of people from like the central coast or from where I'm at that come out there and stuff like that. Usually like with promoting, usually like I'm try to keep ahead with the promoting and stuff like that. But even when it's like with this one, we were just waiting for the military base to give us a green light. We still got like 50 players ready to rock and roll with it. Even if it's like a 2 weeks heads up on it, we're still getting those players. But yeah, we get people from all different blocks of California.
Gotcha. And you're hosting one again this year, correct?
Yeah, we're actually having one that's coming up in about 2 weeks. It's gonna be on the 22nd. So let me just double check on that. Yes, the 22nd of this month. So we're doing 3 this year. We're doing one the 22nd, and then we have one August 7th, and then not August 7th, August 24th, and then December 7th is going to be our other one that's going to be later on down the line.
Okay. That's cool that you were able to do it more than once this year, because I remember for a while it was only once a year, right?
It was once a year. So I was trying to talk to my bosses to be like, hey, let's keep it to like once a year and stuff like that. But oddly enough, we get a lot of rentals that come out to them. So we try to make sure, like, if we get some rentals and stuff like that, I try to like make sure it's like, hey, I'll make sure they're all readied up, geared up, and making sure the teams are balanced and stuff like that.
Oh, that's pretty cool. Okay, so you're also in charge too. You organize and you're an admin for the event as well, like making sure that the teams are balanced and everything?
Yeah. So usually I'll have some ref help and stuff like that, but usually I'm the one that kind of like, hey, like we go over rules, I do the chronoing, and then I make sure that teams are set up, and I try to make sure the games go well in a timely manner, and try to get the game mode set up. No. So while I'm doing all that, like I have the refs helping me out, luckily, but it's just like sometimes it kind of gets like, it's like, whoa, like what did I put myself into right now?
That, you know what though, like that's a kudos to you, man, because you've been really good about it. Again, if I had to think that there was, because most of the time whenever I think about like airsofting in California, right, it's usually like most of it's going to be of course centralized to SoCal and Southern California, because again it is the hotspot for airsoft right in the US. But it is cool to see that we get guys like you that are willing to put the effort forward, right, and really put in the freaking work and the hours needed to try to grow a community out there. Again, like from going from nothing to like from having to separate, like selling BBs, trying to separate in batches of 500. I don't know what the fuck that was. That's insane. Trying to do that shit.
Don't know either.
That was so weird, dude. That's so crazy. Doing that shit to like now actually having regular events, like every single year for airsofting, and even now to the point where you're having rentals actually come out, dude. That's actually a really good job. That should be, if anything, just a reflection of just your hard work and like your dedication to it as well. So that's honestly like just all hats off to you in there. I know that there's a lot of guys that feel very similar to you in the sense, like maybe when you first started, right, where there's just not a whole lot of people that go out there and like play airsoft. Maybe even they're the only person that plays airsoft in their area. What sort of advice would you give to someone like that? Actually, before you go on, give a shout out. I want to give a shout out to Jonathan, who got himself 10 entries. Angel got himself 55 entries. Hot damn, Angel, you're looking to win it. And Juan with the 35 entries. Again, guys, get those orders in before the end of the live stream. 9:30 p.m. Pacific Standard Time is when we're going to be closing. This is all going to be getting you entries into this week's $500 shopping spree giveaway. Get those orders in before it's too late. Don't miss out. Okay. So what sort of advice would you give to someone, maybe say somewhere out there in some random state, right, that maybe doesn't have a local field near them? What sort of advice or tips would you want to give to someone like that?
Definitely, like I always talk to new players and stuff like that with just trying to get them going. when it comes to like new players, I always tell them, hey, if you're brand new to the field, don't be afraid to talk to people. Definitely talk to the people that come out here a lot. I always tell them like, hey, we got regulars that come out here. Talk to them, see how they play and stuff like that, and get some tips and tricks from them. And I always tell people like when you go out into the field and stuff like that, communication's always key, especially when you're like brand new out to the field. Just communicate with people. You got to get messy with it. You got to talk to people sometimes. You got to get out of your comfort. You got to get out of your comfort zone to talk to people. That's how you make friends. And that I encourage that to especially new players, so they get to know people around there, and they can communicate with them. Maybe start a little group here and there. And then they can push it on to be like, hey, we want to start our own thing with it. We'll get the ball rolling with that. Or they get, as I say, get the tisms, and they'll start indulging the sport and starting to get way more invested with it, to the point where they're like, hey, I want to spread the good word of airsoft to people.
Gotcha. So you would say, like, again, because I remember you said that like a lot of guys when you first went out there, they were like just in like Facebook groups. Would you say that that's a pretty good means of being able to like kind of connect with other players that maybe they are not? Because remember, there are some places in the U.S., crazy enough, that just don't have a field. Like they don't have like an official like park that they can actually go to. So I would think for me it would probably be like, maybe Facebook groups would be one. Maybe just social media is like a good tool to connect to other players. Is that something in your experience that you find that works pretty well?
Yeah. So yeah, no, I would just say definitely. I mean, back then Facebook works pretty well, and from the looks of it too, Facebook is still something that is relatively like you can still use. Like I think my Instagram's hooked up to my Facebook. Facebook and Instagram, I know with some of the social media and stuff like that, it's very hard to post airsoft stuff on there, since they're very, very like not super fan of airsoft on there. But if you find like a group of people on there, groups and stuff like that are in their local area, just communicate with them and you guys get something rolling with it. Find a field, or heck, even use some land that your buddies have, or look for land around and stuff like that.
What would the little creek that you guys were playing by, was that private property, or was that just like out in the wilderness?
That was Bureau Land Management in an area. So for what I am aware of, they still call the sheriffs to say, hey, we know we got airsoft that's going to be in this area right over here, so we just want to give you a heads up. And honestly, the sheriff department's really chill with that, and they still use some areas too where they communicate with the sheriffs and PD and be like, hey, like, this is Bureau Land Management. They don't want like random people to be like, oh, there's people with guns out here. That usually they call it's like, oh yeah, they're just airsofting, so just mind where they play and stuff like that. So there's a lot of it that they still use. I think there's a group that's still going strong. It's called I believe Xenon, and they usually do their games on Saturdays and such like that. That's at Woodland, and it's pretty fun. It's pretty fun for them.
So like, have you ever had to call like the police or local authorities yourself and like let them know that you guys are going to be playing somewhere? Or because I've never had to do that before.
I haven't. There's usually a person that's like really stronghold on the being like, okay, they're the person who's ever setting it up. They're the ones that usually get the ball rolling and calling the sheriffs and making sure that like, hey, like we're going to be going out there for this time to this time. And since it's like a woodland area, not really many people walk out over there and stuff like that. And if we do see like a person walking out there and stuff like that, we just say, hey, guys, don't shoot for right now. Let them walk past. But the sheriff's pretty cool with it, and just knowing and understanding that, hey, there's just people that just want to have a little fun in the woods.
No, I get that. Okay. I was always just wondering, like, because I've never had to do that ever, like be the one to call like law enforcement and let them know. Because again, playing out here, finding any sort of like land that like is gonna be mostly out of the public eye is kind of tough. You've lived here for a while. You know what it's like. Trying to find anything that's like kind of open is very tough and very difficult. And even if they even allowed us getting permission from law enforcement would be another thing. So I've always just wondered, like, is there any tips that you'd be able to provide for like contacting law enforcement? Maybe say like this magic phrase or something, and then they'll just be like, ah, cool, I didn't know you were chill like that. All right, you can play here. You know what I mean?
Yeah, definitely knowing what land's open for that type of stuff. As I said, like Bureau land management is the one. Like you want to make sure you're in those areas. Obviously, you don't want to go to someone's private property if they have no knowing of it or an open land. Um, I'm not exactly sure how the phone calls usually go for it. I usually assume that they call it like, hey, we're just a bunch of nerds with airsoft guns that shoot plastic pellets at each other. We're planning to see if we could use this open area if anyone calls about like, hey, there's people with guns or anything like that. Like, hey, the sheriff's knows like, hey, yeah, just let them do their thing. They're ain't harming anything. Probably each other, shooting each other with pellets, but they're no harm to anyone else. That's what I assumed. I haven't called them personally on me just because I don't set up those events. But that's what I heard that go. That's what I heard that goes on with it.
Gotcha. Okay. Now, I've taken up a lot of your time, and I do appreciate you being able to go ahead and dedicate, your time for us. I know you are a busy guy as well, so I'll go ahead and ask you like the last one or two questions before I go ahead and let you go. The next question that I wanted to go ahead and ask was, with you trying out all these different things of airsoft, we've said before you've gone through different phases in airsoft, right? Like that definitely helped you kind of avoid the burnout when it came to playing, because that burnout is, no matter who you are, can definitely be a thing. Is there anything else that you would recommend outside of trying different guns or outside of trying different like loadouts and stuff? Is there anything else that you would suggest to someone that maybe is starting to get a little bored of airsoft? Is there any piece of advice you would want to give to someone like that?
Definitely the biggest one is meeting new people. That is legit the way I've gone through and been able to keep my sanity with the sport is to communicate with new people. Because as you said, like me and you, we've always played back then, but when the sea shifts to where we move and stuff like that, sometimes it's hard to talk to people, but you just got to get out of that comfort. You got to get out of your comfort zone to be like, hey, you know what? Let me see how these people are. And if you enjoy their company and stuff like that and they're cool to you and you're cool to them, like that definitely helps out because that opens up more areas for you to be doing more stuff with them, tagging along with them for airsoft field trips and stuff like that, and just getting to have a new hangout group. And I think that really pushes people to get more involved with the sport and stuff, because as for me, I completely understand being stuck in that situation where you move, you don't know where a field is, and you're kind of by yourself. And playing by yourself isn't the best thing. I know there's probably some people like that, but for me, I gotta be with a group of people. And if I don't know people, I just gotta say, hey, you know what? I gotta talk to these people to see how they do and stuff like that. And if things work out, things work out. That's the best thing I can say.
Honestly, I'm so glad that you touched on that point on being able to talk to new people, because as someone who is also a little bit socially awkward, not antisocial, I like talking to people. I just don't always know the right things to say to people, so I get nervous. But as someone who is socially awkward, and I can definitely attest to that to some people who are a little bit more shy or a little bit more anxious in social settings, honestly, the fact that you are there on an airsoft field already kind of puts down a lot of the barriers that you would ordinarily have, right? Where normally when you're in, like, let's take the old school example, when you're the new kid in school, right? You don't know what to talk to people about, like, oh, I don't know what they like, or I don't know if I say this they're gonna think I'm weird or anything. The fact that you're already are on an airsoft field. You're not on an airsoft field and, like, for no reason. You're there to play airsoft, right? So you already have that common interest there. You can just sort of build off of that. Being able to talk to people on the field and meeting new people has literally been a lifesaver for me, because I've been able to make a ton. I'm sure you feel the same way as well. I've been able to make a ton of friends that I still talk to now, and airsoft was like the only thing we ever. There are some people that I consider like my friends, and we have nothing in common. Like, we have literally nothing in common except for our love of airsoft. And whenever we hang out, it's literally all we ever talk about, right? So again, just being able to talk to your fellow player is going to be like another big thing that's really going to keep everything interesting, because the more friendly company you have with you, the more fun it's going to be. Okay, and then the last question. How long before you currently trade out your current inventory of airsoft guns? How long do you think it'll last
Uh,
this time?
I plead the fifth on that one.
Brother, brother, avoid the question.
Well,
I
if
see.
all right, well, I do have one thing. So, I did trade out my gas blowbacks for another gas blowback type of system, but it doesn't count because I ended up trading my new gas system for my old gas system back because I enjoyed it a little bit better. So, yeah, I still plead the fifth on it, but it's gone but not forgotten.
This is the thing. This man is like the definition of insanity. He does the same thing over and over and over again, expecting this time it'll be better, expecting different results. Man, that is insanity. It's like I traded one gas blowback M4 for another gas blowback M4. Hopefully, this one will be different.
But it's different though. It has a longer inner barrel in it.
Oh, life changing, earth shaking, so different, unique. Have never seen that one before. All right, man, I'll stop giving you shit for that one. All right, man, thank you so much for joining me on the live stream today. It was actually, again, it actually means a lot that you took the time out of your day to go ahead and help out with the live stream. I want to roll out the red carpet for you, my friend. If you have anything you want to go ahead and plug in terms of I know you got an event coming on. If you want to plug that real quick.
Yeah, sure. So if y'all are interested, we have 3 events going on. So we have one coming up in about 2 weeks, which I know is a little late notice, but we got 2 more that are coming up. It's going to be our Kill House event. You can go to Gladiator Paintball Park's website and find it on there, and you can there's dates where you can select from. So just remember, it is one coming up this month, the 22nd. August 24th, and then December 7th, which is pretty close to a special day. So, not that day, but my birthday. So, so, but yeah, if you guys are interested, definitely hit it up. I will be there. If I'm running around like a chicken with its head cut off and stuff like that, I will definitely make time to say hey and get you guys as many questions and answer as many questions as you guys can.
Awesome, man. Awesome. Thank you so much, Nick, for joining me on the stream. Again, pleasure to have you, and you have yourself a wonderful night.
All right, you too, my dude. Y'all have a nice one, all right?
There we go. There we go. What an absolute sweetheart. Again, literally, I've known this guy for fucking since I was 14 years old, man. I'm 28. I'm 20. I've known this guy since I was 14. We've known each other for 14 years. It's crazy. Oh, want to give another shout out to Ronald, who got himself the 55 entries, Steven with the 10, and Robert with the 15 extra entries into this week's Shopping Spree giveaway. Guys, the Shopping Spree giveaway this week may very well be our last Shopping Spree giveaway ever. So make sure to go ahead and get those orders in before it is too late. You don't want to miss out on all the goodness that comes from the Shopping Spree. Again, we built the Shopping Spree giveaway for everyone to have something to look forward to, something the entire community can have fun with. And again, it might be the last one, so you make this one count, man. Get those orders in now while you can. Every 50 gets you 5 entries into the Shopping Spree giveaway, but that's only going to be lasting for what is that, 56 minutes? For 56 minutes left. Less than an hour remains before this stream comes to a close. And at 9:30 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, that's it. We're closing it, we're ending it, and that's it for tonight's live stream. You missed out on those promotions, so get them in now while you can, especially with all the insane deals we got going on. A lot of these discounts are actually expiring by the end of the night as well, by the way. I'm going to highly recommend that you check that out as well. We have a ton of new products available on the website. I'm going to leave a link to those as well onto the live chat for everyone to go ahead and check out. There you go, there you go. Some new combos as well. Make sure to hit those guys up. You don't want to miss out. The greatest high cap starter packages. Basically, your pistol packages are available for those that were looking to get into Airsoft and didn't have a ton of money. Only had a budget of about like $100. This is going to be one that you're going to really want to check out, especially considering what you're getting. Look at this, $99, and you get yourself a TM Spec 1911 with a bag of BBs and a can of gas, and it's a big can as well. Don't miss out. This is definitely the steal that you're going to want to check out. Of course, there are a ton of other things as well, like the greatest Airsoft starter packages. For all my guys that are just starting off in Airsoft, this is going to be the package that you're going to want to get. I wish these combos existed when I was starting to play, because this is absolutely nuts. Right, check it out. You get a Lancer Tactical Gen 2 of your choosing. A solid platform, man. Solid lineup, because you are getting a polymer receiver, but you're getting all the necessities of a modern day rifle, including a Type 4 barrel, rotary hop chamber, and a true quick change spring system. Standard version too, so you can easily build on this bad boy. A lot of these guns are already kind of close to that like 189 price point as is. But in these packages, you are getting your choice of a Lancer Gen 2. You're getting a bag of 5,000 BBs, a battery and a charger, extra mid-cap magazine, a nice modular chest rig, full face mask, which is accepted at literally every single field ever. Like, I've never met a field that didn't accept something like this, and a nice gun bag to store your gun into. So I'm just saying, this is absolutely nuts. I'm going to highly recommend that you check this package out as well. Again, it's called the Greatest Airsoft Starter Package. Now, if you guys do have any airsoft-related questions, or just any questions in general, whether you want to get my opinions on certain things, any product recommendations, or maybe you just wanted to go ahead and ask my personal opinions on certain things, just ask me personal questions, you guys are more than welcome to do so. Put the letter Q right in front of your question. I'm going to be going through the chat, see if I can find any old questions and answer them here. But again, just put the letter Q right in front of your question. Will Bossman send you to Charleston, South Carolina for Shadow in September? Probably not. If I do go, it'll end up being just on my own personal time, which I wouldn't mind doing. Random emoji here, so please don't stop the shopping spree. I look forward to it every week for the last 2 years. Random emoji, I know, man. I know. I do love the shopping spree giveaway as well. I do indeed love the shopping spree giveaway. It's very special to me because, again, I love being able to see new people get involved and everyone turn up, right? And even for all the regulars that are there, all the regulars, even when they don't win, I love seeing just how happy everyone is that someone was able to take home that prize pot all for themselves. That's an awesome feeling. It just really goes to show how awesome this community really is, how wholesome we actually can be, when we're not being freaking degenerates. We can all come together and actually wish goodwill upon our fellow airsofters. And that's what it's all about, man. That's literally what it's all about. Without that, airsoft ain't gonna grow. Airsoft ain't gonna grow without that. Hell yeah, Isaias, we want to see that. I want to go, man. I do want to go. We're going to be so many such Shadowlands. It would be cool if you could make it. I would love to go, dude. I would love to go to Charlotte, South Carolina. I've never been to South Carolina, though. I would need a guide for me. I would need a guide for sure. What's a decent M4 GVR? I've been looking, but can't decide on one. Cozy Report. That is a fantastic question, Cozy Report. For gas blowback rifles, especially for M4s, I'll be honest, you're not really going to be able to find something that's going to be sub $300. Everything that's going to be decent in terms of gas blowbacks is going to be $300 plus. Minimum you're going to want to spend is like mid 300s easily for a decent M4 GVR. If you honestly want my best recommendation for a GVR, I'm going to recommend that you go, to go from the top to the bottom, right? Let's see. Are they still available? Because I know they sold out. They sold out a little while ago. Are they available again? Okay, MWS normally would have been the one that I would recommend. Those are currently sold out, though. I completely understand why, because we were blowing these out for like, what was it, 4 something? It was crazy. It was absolutely insane how little we were going for these. Again, sales, man, discounts go hard, right? This was going to be one that I would have highly recommended to go with the MWS, just because the sheer amount of parts that are coming out for it still, like currently, to this day, and that are going to continue coming out for that system is like almost unmatched. If you wanted something that was good out the box, so you didn't really have to touch too much, the KWA LM4 series. Yeah, the LM4 PTR. This is going to be a solid pick. Oh my goodness, that disc. Oh yeah, and again, like I said, I wasn't lying. A lot of these deals are literally expiring at the end of the night. What is that? A little under 3.5 hours left before this item's no longer discounted. This one's going to be one that I'm going to highly recommend, especially at that price point, $378. That's cheap. That is actually cheap for what you're getting. I run a KWA LM4. They're solid. They don't really need any sort of work whatsoever outside of just your general maintenance, cleaning wise, and that's about it. There are still some upgrade components you can find out in the wild for it. Not too many exist like currently stateside, but honestly, you don't really need it. A lot of law enforcement specifically use the LM4 series because, again, it's solid, right? It doesn't really need a whole lot of work. Mimics the real thing close enough, right? Obviously, there's some differences between a real firearm and an airsoft one, but for training purposes, this works very, very well. Looks very, very well, so much so that several law enforcement agencies and military units will use this for training purposes. So use that to your own your own devices, if you will. So I really like the LM4 series, and I've been using mine for years. Another one you can go with would be WeTech, but again, when it comes to the ARs, the one failure point on them is going to be the bolt catch. However, with a few upgrades, you'd be able to go ahead and easily go ahead and swap that out. Let's see. Open bolt. Let me type in open bolt. That usually shows up. WeTech M4. Yeah, baby. Yeah, baby. There we go. WeTech M4 CQBR. That's going to be another classic one that you can't go wrong with. Again, standard M4A1, but you can do a ton of shit with this. Again, this has been one that's been very popular for a very long time. There are still a lot of parts that exist for the WeTech system, so that's very cool as well. That would normally be the cheapest one, but again, I'm probably going to say go with the LM4 just because of the price point. You are saving like, what, 20-ish bucks around there compared to the WeTech right now just because it's on sale. So I would say do that. Personally, I would say do that. All right, those are going to be your 3 options when it comes to gas X. Anything else under that, I'll be honest, I probably wouldn't recommend for bringing onto the field for regular play. If it's just going to be like something that you play with in your backyard, target plinking and stuff like that, sure, go for anything else, right? But if you really want to play with it and have it be reliable and actually work for you, I would say any of those 3, you're set, man. You're absolutely set. What? Right. I think Isaias annoyed Boaz and got his sleeves ripped off. Nah. So what happened? The reason why this shirt doesn't have sleeves right now is Boaz kept pointing out that I didn't have, I kept like getting holes. All these shirts, man, I don't know what it is. I'm always freaking ripping the sleeves. Like I'm always ripping like holes throughout here around the arms. And so I'm just like, man, fuck it. So I just grabbed some scissors and I just quickly cut the sleeves off this thing. Am I cooking Saturday night, guys? So no one has to worry. And I am cooking Saturday night, guys. So no one has to worry about it. Oh, I see. Okay, so better put them guns away before YouTube zucks, y'all. I don't have any freaking guns on the wall. I don't have any freaking guns on the wall right now. Make sure to like the stream. Thank you. Are you guys getting the Octurus suppressors? Yes, Clayton Peralta. We should. If not already, then we should be getting them in very, very soon. So stay tuned to the new products page on the website. Okay, keep scrolling up, and see that. Who's against that one? As a beginner, is it normal to be scared to leave spawn because of the fear of being hit? If so, how do I overcome that fear? Ooh, rest flex. That is actually a fantastic question, my friend. That is a very, very, very good question. And I think as a beginner, and honestly, kudos to you, man. You got some balls for actually admitting that, because I know there's a lot of beginner players that don't openly admit that. To be honest, there's a lot of players that are like, no, I'm good, right? That don't admit that hey, there's a little bit of intimidation going on, especially as a newer player. That's totally normal, dude. That is 100% normal. And I don't care who says like, oh no, just go for it. No, bullshit. Your first time as a beginner, that's totally normal, dude. That's totally normal. Honestly, it just takes a lot of repetition, just like anything else, right? Just like driving or like riding a bike for the first time. Repetition is key. You keep doing it and just go into it over and over and over again. You kind of just get numb to it. You just kind of get numb to it, and you just get used to it, and you can do it at no problem at a certain point. If with enough hours behind you, you will be able to go ahead and just overcome pretty much any fear at that point. And yeah, just if anything, just go out there with the expectation you are going to get hit. That's the biggest thing. Go out there with the expectation that you will get hit, but it's not going to be that bad. It ain't going to be that bad. You're going to it's going to sting a little, and then you're going to be like, oh, that wasn't too bad. I'm going to go again, see if I can do better this time around. So yeah, that's what I would say about that. This one comes from Let's Fling Foam. Is the Octurus LWT CQB full polymer, or does it have an aluminum handguard? The LTW is actually full polymer. It is full polymer. But it is very lightweight. The LTWs are a fantastic pick. Or LWTs, my bad. LWTs. Yeah, LWTs are full polymer construction externally. Of course, your outer barrel and your buffer tube is going to be metal, but the receiver group, handguard is going to be polymer, and that's actually a good thing. It's going to keep the cost down and the weight down as well. And again, some of these are also discounted right now. You can, oh my goodness, you can get just the LWT, just the base model by itself, no battery and charger. You can get this one for discounted right now, $157.50. That's a good deal. That's a damn good deal. Micro switch trigger, 602 Type 4 inner barrel, quick change spring system. It's got it, man. It's got it where it counts, and that's all you need. And that price point is actually very good, especially in this economy. Get it now before the deal expires. All right, just picked up a Glock. Hey, that's what's up. Okay, keep scrolling that. All right, let me scroll down to the most recent comments and questions. Enigma of the Dragon, good to see you, man. If someone wins the shopping spree, are their orders counted towards the next shopping spree when they use it? Yeah, if they want to go ahead and place an order, Yeah, 100%. They can use their winnings, though that order that they use, that's still an entry. It's still an order that has to be made. Those are going to be counted towards the next shopping spree giveaway. We always do that. And then with the Dragon, anytime a previous shopping spree giveaway winner wins and they want to go ahead and collect their winnings and place some orders, as long as those orders are $20 or more, yeah, they 100% qualify for the next shopping spree giveaway. There's no cap on how many times a previous winner can win. We never set a limit on to how many times a player can win. So theoretically, they can place as many orders as they want, honestly. Acratics, this is a good question. Looking at your custom MCX, we provide an itemized list of the parts installed. Not always. We can give you a list of the specs used, because sometimes we do have to go ahead and mix and match some parts to get the best possible performance. Because again, sometimes some batches that we get, and for any techs out there, you guys know what I'm talking about. Sometimes you get certain batches of parts that are fucking grade A, phenomenal, flawless, and then the next batch is what the fuck? You know what I mean? Like, why is it not giving the same thing? So it does take a little bit of mix and match and a lot of. That's why there's such a big lead time with our customs, because we have to make sure that all the parts are meshing 100% correctly. Because if there's even just a small thing that's like not going to be up to spec, we're not going to send that out. We're going to make sure that you are getting exactly the rifle that you paid for. Okay, but that is a fantastic question, Akrar. That's a good question. Remember, guys, every 50 you spend gets you 5 entries into the shopping spree giveaway. Don't miss out. Get those orders in. You have less than an hour remaining. 9:30 is when we're coming to a close. Don't miss out. Like I've been saying, and like the poll said earlier, this very well might be the last shopping spree giveaway we ever do. And I want everyone to be involved in this. Let's make history while we can. Let's make this one count. Get as many orders as you possibly can. Because who knows, next week, it might not be happening. It very well might not be happening. So let's get those orders in now while you guys can. Let's see, keep scrolling through. I couldn't see anything telling me how long it will aid in. We'll see. Oh, if you did the standard shipping, how many days does it take to get shipped to the home? Well, it depends on where you're located, Aiden. Usually, again, like it depends on where you're ordering from and when it actually ships out. You know what I mean? So it typically depends on where you're at. Standard processing time, though, is typically about usually average 2 business days. Sometimes it can take a third, depending on how big the order is. If it's a larger order, or if it's coming from another like warehouse that's like pretty far, then yeah, we would have to go ahead and maybe get another processing day. But usually 2 business days is like the average turnaround time before an order actually ships out, leaves our warehouse onto you. However long it takes UPS, or especially going standard ground shipping, however long it takes UPS is going to be where you're located. Obviously, orders that are closer to California will be received sooner. Orders that are on the other side of this country are going to take a little longer. So just keep that in mind. Usually, though, whenever it ships out, we usually give out an email update alongside a UPS tracking number, so you'll be able to keep tabs on the shipment status of your order. So there is that. Alvin 11, that is a good. Let's see here. That is a good deal. Yes, it is, Alvin. 100% it is a damn good deal, dude. You know what else is a good deal? MGC4s, baby. Again, literally any order for any model of the MGC4s. Mark 1, Mark 2. You want to do a pre-order in for the Mark 3, which is coming very, very soon. Or even you want to get the limited edition BCM versions, right, with the BCM rail system and gunfighter stock on there. Beautiful. You will be getting 50 entries into the shopping spree giveaway. Again, these are the rifles that are meant to dominate the battlefield from the get-go. They don't need upgrade work. They don't need anything in order to be competing with the best of them. If anything, outperforming the best of them. So I'm going to recommend that you go and get your orders in now while you guys can. Don't miss out. Do not miss out. It looks like they just went discounted too. Looks like they discounted as well. Right now, you can get them for less than $300. Even more of a reason why you should be getting these bad boys. I'm just saying, the proof is right there. You want to see the videos? We have plenty of videos showing how good these bad boys are. Get it in now while you guys can. Okay, my last count is like 10 or so from the Mayo Gang that are going to Shadowlands. Damn, that's freaking good. That's a good amount of people that are going to Shadowlands. Dude, I would love to go. I mean, maybe. Again, I'm not saying no. I'm just saying I got to do some research, see how much it's all going to cost me and everything. But you never know. I might be able to do it. I might be able to. We'll see. We shall see. We shall see. Alvin 11, Isaias, I got me a KWA Eve 9 over the weekend. How would you accessorize it? Just curious, maybe I get some ideas. Okay, you got yourself the Eve 9. That's a good choice, man. The Eve 9. Let's go to see Eve KWA with their KO series, their KWA original lineup is absolutely amazing. I love the stuff they've been coming out. It's an AR-esque, but not truly an M4, if you get what I'm saying. Again, it's an original design, more or less, right? So I really like these guys. I think it depends ultimately, though, Alvin, on where you're sort of playing and what sort of play style you ultimately have. No, again, if you want the safe setup, vertical grip like you already have there is honestly going to be probably one of the best options, or you can go swap that out for like a nice little angled grip of some kind, like a little hand stop. Pair that off with like a T1 style optic, and you're pretty much set to go. You don't really need too much else. Now, for me personally, if I'm throwing caution to the wind, right, and I don't really care in terms of price point, I'm honestly going to go with this optic. I'm going to go with the EG1 because, god damn, I love the EG1 so much. And it's discounted right now, 84, which I know is still a little pricey, but hey, that's better than 94. I'm just throwing that out there, right? I love optics that offer a nice, big sight picture, right? Something that I don't really have to squint too much. I can just pull up ADS and I'm good to go. It's right there. You know, a nice big sight picture, nice big reticle for me to see. That's all I need. That is literally all I need, and I'll be able to go ahead and hit my target, no problem. Something like this paired with the Eve 9 would be pretty damn sweet, pretty freaking cool. Maybe even pair this off, if anything. You can go ahead and do maybe a PEC box if you wanted to. Actually, what you can do as well, ACW mount. Let me see if it's still available. You can use maybe like one of those dive board mounts. That'd actually be pretty hot. Doing one of those. Oh, but these MROs, actually, this would be pretty cool too. Get this MRO mount, right, and use this, because this is actually really, really cool. Even for outdoor, this is actually good. This is good for pretty much like anywhere. This is pretty much good for any sort of setup. Get this MRO mount from Atlas Custom Works and pair that off with the ACW MRO. Hell yeah. Pair that off with one of those. Dude, you're chilling. You are Bing chilling. You are absolutely being chilling. This would be the setup that I would probably suggest you go with, or you can go with the actual like tan one. Maybe not the 45-degree one. Go with the tan one. Actually, a tan and black kind of setup wouldn't be too bad either. I'll leave those just to kind of give you some inspiration for that. But I actually really like the MRO a little bit more than your T1s, just because again it's a bigger sight picture, and I feel like in a very high intensity situation, faster target acquisition is a lot easier when paired with that. But honestly, you can also go, if you want to do a T1 setup, just go for something like this. The ACW T1, T2 optic mount is going to be very, very cool. Again, elevates it enough so that way it's not super hard to, like look down, especially if it doesn't come included with a riser. This is going to be a little bit nicer, and it is kind of a little bit of a cantilever too, so it is kind of nice, and it's $27. It ain't bad, honestly. That would probably be what I would suggest, and maybe pair it off with, if you're playing outdoor, I don't know how you feel about it. Maybe go for a unicorn type or inner barrel. The barrel like you set up it has right now is pretty cool, but I would say go for a unicorn airsoft inner barrel. Go for an inner barrel from Unicorn, because it's going to come included with the bucking as well, and the hop-up nub. Swap that into the K-Dub, and you're pretty much set. You don't have to do anything internally upgraded-wise. That's it. Like, you are literally set. Go for one of those bad boys, and then maybe if you wanted to, go for a longer one. Then you can put like a mock suppressor on top. That way you have, again, you kind of have that nice little, professional sort of look to it. I don't know. It just looks cool that way, in my opinion, but it's entirely up to you at the end of the day, Alvin. Ruinzensky, what's this? Is there wait even? There are a couple means of getting rid of your old stuff, Ruinzensky. I would look into that a little bit more. Again, just we are an airsoft retailer. We are in the business of selling airsoft guns, not buying back. Okay, let's see here. Yeah, I live in Indiana. Indiana. No, yeah. It's gonna take a little while for UPS ground shipping, but again, just once you actually get the tracking number, you can just use that to keep tabs on your order. Oh, I see. Enigma of the Dragon. As I have a bunch of people getting ready to try Airsoft. Ooh, nice! For the first time on the 23rd, what advice would you give them and to myself for helping them learn the sport? We are talking about seven minimum, or any advice that would help them in general. Okay, Enigma of the Dragon. That is a fantastic question, and good job for getting that many people actually interested at Airsoft to the point where they're actually going to try it. That's cool. Okay, so here's what I would suggest. When you get them started, I don't know how you're going to do it, price-wise, if you have a budget in mind, if you're paying for everyone or everyone's doing their own thing. If you can, try to see if you can get everyone to do a rental gun. That way, like, they're not well, okay, this is a tough one. I guess it depends on the person. It depends on the person. Just having them with enough gear to actually have a good time. No one wants to be carrying magazines in their pocket and everything. Could you do it? Yes, but it's not the most comfortable. So having some type of gear at the very least for them to borrow is going to be kind of nice. If you have guns that you can loan out to them, I don't know what your collection looks like, Enigma. But if you have guns for everyone, that's even better, because then everyone has something to be able to go ahead and borrow. But if you have to go the rental route, by all means, do the rental route. Nothing wrong with that. See if you guys can try to work together as a team. That's the biggest thing. I know 7 people is kind of a large group. I don't know if you're doing a private event or if you're doing public games. It is kind of nice when you do a public game, though. That way you're playing up against other people, especially if you guys can, all 7 of you can be working in one squad. You know what I mean? If you just work as an actual squad with you as the lead, that would actually be very, very cool. I would say don't be afraid to be bold when you guys are out on the field. Don't be afraid to be bold, because doing that, like going for those, like be more active in the actual combat itself, and don't worry about hanging back or try to keep everyone alive. No, screw that. The best memories I have on the airsoft field are when I'm just decided, you know what? Fuck it, balls to the walls. I'm gonna sprint to the other side and kill as many of those guys as I can. Whenever I was separated from my group, right? Like that was always the most fun when we just said, "Fuck it, just full send it, brother." Full send it. Let's see what happens. You know what I mean? Like obviously work together as a team so you're more effective at it. But yeah, like just go for those like really, really insane, daring plays, and you never know, it could work. Can you imagine how good it would feel as beginners if you all work together towards an objective, right? You all have a certain objective in mind and you all work together to achieve that goal, and you actually get it done, because you're all working with each other, covering each other, watching each other's back, communicating and coordinating on the field, so that way you can reach whatever point you're trying to get to, capturing whatever objective that they might be. Again, just getting the job done and actually being the group that wins it for your team. That's got to be an amazing feeling, man. That's got to be a truly amazing feeling. Now, with that said, too, don't be afraid to split up the group either in like half. You know what I mean? Don't be afraid to split up the group in half. If you're doing like a private event, even better, right? Because then it's just you guys. Just don't be afraid of getting hit, too. That's one thing for general newer players that I would say. Don't be afraid of getting hit. Yes, it's intimidating, and it's completely understandable if you would have a little bit of fear or reservations about going onto the field and getting shot up, right? Because let's be real, it's going to happen to all of us at some point. We're all going to get like a lot of BBs slung in our way, you know what I mean? Like at some point or another, it's going to happen. But the sooner you come to accept that, it's actually a lot better for everyone, because once you get hit by it, it's like, you know what? Once you get over it, it's not that bad looking back. Like it ain't that bad. You know what I mean? Everyone goes through it. It's kind of like a rite of passage, You're not a true airsofter unless you've taken like a face full of BBs before. You know what? It just happens. So the sooner you accept that you're going to get hit and it's going to sting a little bit, it's all good. It's not that bad. You know what I mean? So just don't be afraid. And also start talking to other people too on the field. I know you're there as a group. With like 7 guys possibly, but I would say don't be afraid to start talking to people and work with other people as well. They might actually help you, especially if you tell them, hey, I got this group of new players. Would you mind just, if you're on my team, would you mind like kind of keeping an eye on them or something? If someone asked that of me, I wouldn't mind that at all, dude. I would not mind that at all, and I would gladly help out with kind of working with them. So even if they do get separated, at least I can kind of keep an eye on them and have them be like, hey man, why don't you go and follow me? Like I got my group here. Why don't you hang out with us for a little bit? We're gonna go towards this objective, or we're gonna try to go for this. Like they'll at least feel more involved. That's the biggest thing. If they feel involved, they feel like they're contributing to the overall like team effort, that's gonna be a great feeling. They're gonna get hooked on like 100%. Okay, cool. Moises Hernandez, good to see you again, buddy. Any news on getting Golden Eagle M870 MP restock? I don't think we've received our restock as of yet. M870. Why is there a period there? M870 MP. Let's see. I want to double check just in case. Yeah, no, it looks like we're still currently sold out of those. Hopefully we can get them in soon. Again, it's just, got to remember all the stuff is coming from overseas. So we do got to give it some time, but hopefully we can get it in very, very soon, because summer is here, man. Summer's already here. School's out for a lot of kids. School's out for a lot of people. Excuse me. And people are trying to hit up the field as soon as they can. So hopefully summer weather is gas back weather. It's gas weather. So being able to have a really, really fun shoddy is going to be, highly suggested. Especially if you want to have a lot more fun this time of year and try something different. What magazine would you recommend for the KWA LM4? Okay, so Cozy Report. When it comes to gas blowbacks, they're not going to be as interchangeable with other brand gas blowback magazines when it comes to rifle. They're not going to be as interchangeable as compared to like, an AEG where you can pretty much use any brand, right? With a gas blowback, you're going to have to stick with that system magazine. So, for example, if you're going with KWA LM4, you have to go with KWA LM4 brand magazines or the PTS Masada mags, which are literally the exact same thing. They're literally just an LM4 mag, which is different. Anyway, going with KWA brand or KWA OEM magazines is going to be what you're going to have to run with. Same thing if you go WeTech. If you go WeTech, you're going to have to go with WeTech brand magazines. Now, I know there might be some smaller manufacturers that make their own like clone of the magazine, but those aren't really as readily available as like the actual OEM brand. Same thing with Tokyo Marui MWS. MWS magazines, for some reason, are very difficult to find. I don't know why. We had the Army Armament replacement PMags. Those were pretty cool, but those sold out like fucking fast. Hopefully we can get our restock on those. But yeah, depending on what system you go with, you're pretty much stuck with that brand magazine in terms of its system. You can't really mix and match the different magazines with the different models. Like, you wouldn't be able to use an LM4 magazine in an MWS or an MWS mag in like a WeTech or anything. There's not a whole lot of like, I guess, interchangeability. You have to go with that specific spec. Okay. Make sure I'm missing anything. All right, scroll down the most recent comments and questions. There we go. Speaking of getting shot in the face, people who don't wear mesh masks are built different. They eat nails for breakfast or some shit. Like how you're not afraid to lose your teeth. I'll be honest, Ruinzensky, I don't normally wear a mesh mask. Like, I like, honest to God, I normally do not wear a mesh mask whenever I go. Just because, like, again, sometimes I forget, right? But sometimes I'll be honest, like, I don't normally get shot in the face very often. I'm usually pretty good about like making sure that I'm not shot. Like, I usually last quite a while on the field. I don't normally get shot like every single round. I'll definitely get hit for sure. I'll definitely get my fair shot of getting hit. Whenever I do get hit, though, it's usually in spots like my arms, like my elbows, or I'll get shot in the back. It's usually the back. I don't know why. I am always. I don't know what it is. I'm usually pretty good about like checking my corners and shit, but somehow there's always that one sneaky motherfucker or that one sniper. Ooh, snipers, my worst enemy. I have nothing but respect for like long range players and everything. But you gotta understand, I am an aggressive LMG user. I am an LMG, casual LMG enjoyer. Like, again, I'm playing aggressive. Getting a little bit closer sometimes is usually how I play, right? But a sniper, man, like, who knows what he's doing, has the right shit, and can get those long range kills, is my worst freaking nightmare. Because they're usually like from way back, they're hiding somewhere, and they go, oh, a little corner, bink, and they shoot me like somewhere in the back or the side. Bruh, I hate that shit. Like, I'm like, man, come on, face me like a freaking man. Anyway, skill issue. Hey, I bought a storm for you guys about 2 months ago. I haven't been able to play due to, what's the best way to make sure it isn't a lemon? Thanks, Pernoxun. To make sure it isn't a lemon, I mean, just to test it out. It'd just be to go ahead and test it out then at that point. I mean, granted, whenever we send out any of our customs, we always do like a really, really strenuous QC job on them to make sure that you are getting the best product possible. However, thankfully, when it comes to our custom lineup of like storms, typhoons, hurricanes, you do get a 1-year warranty so long as you haven't opened up the gearbox yourself. You do get a 1-year warranty, so if there's any sort of issues, make sure to get in contact with us via the live chat on our website, or you can reach out via email as well, and we can definitely help you out if that's the case. But yeah, you should not be receiving a lemon at that point. Since when I haven't had teeth? Jason, since when I haven't had teeth for the last 10 years? I didn't know. I mean, teeth do grow back. If you're a child, you still got your baby teeth, but not as an adult. At a certain point, those are your, like, it. Like, you ain't got no more replacement teeth at that point. I got shot in the face. It was awesome. I got shot in the face. It was awesome. Last game I played, I went out, ran ahead way more than I thought I would, and got the kills because of it. But also got shot and went back to spawn 4 times. Hey, you got the kills, though. All I'm hearing in my head is, hey, you got the kills. That's what I'm hearing. It was a good trade-off. You got the kills and you died at the end of at the end of the day, for every 1 death you had, you were able to kill, what was it, 4? That sounds pretty good to me. Your KD ratio is pretty damn good, honestly. KD ratio is pretty damn good. Guys, we have 26 minutes left of this live stream, so make sure to get those orders in now before it's too late. 9:30 p.m. Pacific Standard Time is when we're going to be ending the stream, and that's going to be the end of the promotions. So every $50 you spend is going to be getting you 5 entries into this week's shopping spree giveaway. Every order for a Mayo Gang MGC4 is going to be giving you 50 entries into the shopping spree giveaway. If you were looking for an airsoft gun that was going to absolutely kick ass right from the box with no upgrades needed, this is going to be what you want to get. The MGC4 Mark 1, Mark 2, Mark 3, BCM, MCMR version, doesn't matter. Get an MGC4 and you will be able to feel the difference. You'll be able to see it for yourself. Bring it out to the field. Ask anyone that owns an MGC4 right now. They will tell you that that thing is a freaking beast that needs and deserves respect from everyone. So make sure to get those orders in before it's late. Because again, you get 50 chances of winning $500. And again, like I've been saying, this very well could be the very last shopping spree giveaway we ever do. So make sure that we spread the word around. Make sure you leave a like on this live stream. Let's get all eyes on this. Even if it's just the last few minutes of the live stream, get everyone involved and get those orders in. You don't want to miss out. This might be history in the making. The very last shopping spree giveaway. Don't miss out. Derek M, my Rogue extra gear, I donate them back to new players. My local field holds a new player giveaway. Hey, Derek, that's actually really, really cool. That's really wholesome, too, and a really awesome way to get newer players, like, some gear without having to make them spend, like, a ton of money for it either. That's actually really cool. Let's see here. Keep scrolling up. What's the best place? Okay, answer that one as well. All right, should be caught up on all those. Remember, guys, if you do have any airsoft-related questions, put the questions down into the live chat with the letter Q right in front of your question. Definitely makes it a heck of a lot easier for me to spot and identify. Don't miss out. Get those orders in. All right, cool. Answer that one as well. Okay, answered that one. Scroll down. There we go. Yes. If you haven't already, also join the Discord too. We are always giving away like some really, really cool promotions every once in a while on there. Bossman likes to go in and throw in some extra promos on our Discord server exclusively. You guys are getting the first to know. You were the first to know any sort of like new stuff is in development or any sort of big news happening. Discord is usually the first place that knows. So I'm going to highly recommend you give that a follow as well. Ooh, Enigma of the Dragon. Another great question. With an AEP, what would you use to build a silent pistol with lasers, lights, and stub suppressor? With an AEP, what would you use to build a silent pistol with lasers? To be honest, AEPs, I'm not really the biggest fan of AEPs in general. I usually find that AEPs are pretty much unreliable, to be honest. Like, again, there's not a whole lot of parts that exist for them either, so if you do break them, you're kind of shit out of luck. I mean, in general, it's usually not what you can do with the AEPs to, like, make them really silent. It's usually just more so how you play with them. Oh, they want to create the SOCOM pistol for video games? Yeah, unfortunately, there's not really too much you can do in terms of that, in terms of being able to recreate that, other than getting the actual thing itself. Aiden Chestnut. If I bought the Boneyard mystery box, will I probably have to buy more stuff for the gun? And can it be any AEG gun in the store? Okay, so it depends on which one you're talking about, but if you are referring to... Let's see this one. The guaranteed AEG? No, it's completely random. Remember, it's a mystery box. You don't know what you're getting. It's a mystery box. That's what makes it a mystery in the first place. It's, again, the condition can vary. The condition can vary. Sometimes, I'll be honest, sometimes there are some guns in there that it's like all you would need to do is like adjust the motor height screw and like you're set, right? Or sometimes it might be, maybe it's just missing this one piece for, I don't know, or maybe it's missing a star. You know what I mean? It can vary from place to place. Sometimes it might be, hey, it needs a little bit of work on the gearbox itself. Maybe it's missing an inner barrel setup. Again, it's going to vary from box to box, right? It's going to vary. But what I can guarantee you is that $49.98 for a guaranteed AEG, and I've looked at the AEGs that you were getting in this thing. Yeah, it's worth it, man. The 2024 Boneyard Mystery Box with the guaranteed AEG is one that I would highly recommend to pretty much everyone, especially if you were looking for, like, again, a tech project. Maybe you just wanted something to mess around with, kind of rebuild, or just have something from the ground up to work on, then yeah, I would say this would be one that I would strongly suggest. Sometimes, yeah, you might need to go ahead and buy like a, I don't know, like a replacement handguard or something, right? For it's like a different rail system for it, maybe. But again, it's gonna vary from model to model. Pronux you in. What about taking off the flash hider? Will that void the warranty for the gun? Technically speaking, yes, but I mean, I'll be honest. we at GI are very, very, very patient and understanding. Despite the fact that we are a retailer, we are indeed a very, very understanding company. So if you are honest with us for Noxuen, and you let us know what's going on, and if you're cool, this goes for pretty much anything retail. Let this be a lesson for everyone. If you guys are really cool to the retail workers that you have to deal with, right, like whether you're going shopping for clothes or whatever it might be, if you're nice to the service workers there, you'd be surprised how much they're willing to do for you if you treat them with kindness and respect. So if you do that for Noxuen, I'm just saying, there's probably a good chance that you might be able to go ahead and get helped out there. Okay, it keeps going through, keeps scrolling through. Okay, answered all those. 20 minutes, guys. We got 20 minutes left before we close out the stream. If you haven't already, get those orders in before it's too late. And if you have any Airsoft-related questions, put them down into the live chat. Or if you just want to ask me personal questions as well during this last couple minutes of the stream, by all means, you guys are more than welcome to do so. I'm an open book. I don't keep secrets. Feel free to go ahead and ask away. All right. What's that? That's the one. Oh god, I hate that this icon's in the way, so I can't say. That's the one that I bought. Hey, good choice then. Good choice. Oh, Isaias, I noticed you guys have a Lancer Tactical micro chest rig. Is it similar to the Haley? Is that rig? And so do you guys have inserts for like 7.62 or SAG inserts? Okay, so. Whether it looks like something or not may or may not be a coincidence. I'm just going to leave it at that. But as far as inserts, yes, we do indeed have inserts. We also have placards as well. Now, if you're looking for 7.62 specifically, come on, there we go. 7.62 insert. Why does it always do that? Okay, well, that works too. We have a couple different inserts, 5.56, 7.62 as well. Right, we have a couple different inserts. It depends on what style you're looking for, because there's a bunch of companies that make their own version of inserts, right? But this would be one that we carry, and again, there's a couple different colors. Using hook and loop lining on the outside, so you can just stuff them in. That's pretty cool. Honestly, anytime, because as a fellow battle rifle enjoyer, it is always nice to see that there are more 7.62 options or items that are becoming more available for. So something like this would be very, very cool to add onto your chest rig as well. Ackright, any chance of an Isaias Private Collection Airsoft Mystery Box version 2? You guys really seem to like my mystery box. I'm very happy for that. I'm very happy that my mystery box sold out as quickly as it did. I mean, yeah, maybe. Although if you guys were looking for a really cool mystery box, in the meantime, I'm going to highly recommend. We have way less than half of these available. 2024 Platinum Hot Releases mystery box. Get it now while you can. Again, it'll guarantee you 15 chances of winning the shopping spree giveaway. But if you guys want my private collection mystery box to be coming back, I would say, yeah. I would say, sure. If we get enough of demand for it, enough people asking for it, sure. I mean, we would hope then at that point it would sell out like hotcakes, you know what I mean, at the end of the day. If that's the case, then yeah, sure, we don't mind doing it. As long as we know that there is going to be support for it and there's going to be people who are buying it, then yeah, 100%. We would not mind at all having another round of my private collection mystery box. Not at all. I'm glad you guys are carrying stuff like this and at a decent price. Yes, Alvin. Again, completely coincidence that it looks like that. But yes, we do indeed carry. If you haven't already seen it, just take a look. Go under tactical gear, right? Boas has been very helpful with because we had this massive wave of like tactical gear that all of a sudden we started carrying, and it was insane. And I had to work on the back end to try to make sure that we got all this stuff in. There's a lot of cool stuff on here. If you know, you know. You catch my drift. You picking up what I'm putting down. So yeah, something like this. The BC1 slick plate carrier. Anyway, yeah, something like, again, a lot of cool stuff that's going on right now that I'm gonna highly recommend that you take advantage. Because again, we don't know if they're gonna keep making this stuff. I hope they do, but once they sell out, I don't know. I don't really know. I genuinely have no idea. So I'm hoping that everyone kind of picks this up and gets themselves something nice right now in terms of tactical gear, because tactical gear just makes you look so damn cool, man. It just makes you look so damn cool. It's the box I ordered. I'm waiting for shipment. The platinum one, yeah, man. Once it ships out, you'll be getting an email notification. Again, some of the items do take a little longer to go and get in, but again, it'll ship out as soon as we possibly can, man. Dart tray, you know what I'm talking about. Which, by the way, guys, I don't know if you guys saw, but after many trials and tribulations, our YouTube video for the ESG B10 gas shotgun from G&G finally went live yesterday. Yeah, yesterday. Finally went live yesterday. We had uploaded, for anyone that was wondering why there was no video upload on Friday, there was a little bit of trouble on our end trying to get it uploaded for some reason. Copyright and what have you, right? But after, much work and effort from everyone at the team, we were able to get it up and live. So if you haven't already, make sure to go ahead and give that video a watch. Dark Tree, I don't know if you had a chance to watch that video. Dark Tree specifically, I want you to watch it and look all the way through it. You'll find the little Easter egg that we specifically mention you, man. We specifically mention you by name, not actual name. We didn't dox you. No, we like just by your username, Dark. There's a little Easter egg for you, man, that we threw in just for you. Let's see here. Enigma of the Dragon. Do you see a lot of cosplay kits, and if so, what types? Usually on the fields, I'll see a little bit. I mean, technically speaking, if you think about it, all Airsoft is to an extent kind of cosplay, right? Military cosplay. But as far as like specific for any sort of movies, anime, TV shows, video games, I'll see my fair share of Star Wars stuff, especially whenever we do a BB Wars event. There's usually guys that'll dress up as Wookiees. You got some Mandalorians as well. You got a couple of like Rebel soldiers as well. Stormtroopers, that's going to be a pretty common one. As far as any other cosplay kits that I've seen, if we're solely speaking on that, not like actual military LARPing stuff. Oh God, what were some other ones that I've seen? I remember back in the day, I used to see a few more Snake from Metal Gear Solid series. I used to see a few of those. I used to see Big Boss as well was another one that I saw. There used to be a lot more Metal Gear cosplay out there on the field as well. Those kind of disappeared to the wayside for some reason. Not too sure why. Oh, want to give a shout out to John with the 25 entries. Guys, again, time is running out. 14 minutes left. 14 minutes left till the end of the stream. Get those orders in before it's too late. This could be the very last shopping spree giveaway ever. So don't miss out and get those orders in. What are your thoughts on Swamp Sniper, Aiden Chestnut? Dude, I think he's dope. He's very entertaining. He's a good businessman. Like I think he's solid. I think he's a solid dude. I would very much like to meet him. I think his videos are very entertaining too. Just answer that one. Well, yeah, that was a good question with the cosplay one too, though. I think that's about it in terms of like cosplay that I've seen for the most part. I know there's a few more. But like I just can't for the life of me think of them at the time right now. Would the WoSport Kangaroo placard with G-hooks fit onto the WoSport Tactical BC1 Slick Player Play Carrier? For the BC1, let's go back. If it's using G-hooks, then I want to say yes, but I'd have to double check this. Let's see here. Let's look at the BC1 plate carrier. Oh, that's the ABS. Damn it. One sec. All right, BC1. There we go. Let's look at it in tan. Potentially, but you might need to remove the clips off of here in order to get it to work for the G hooks. Yeah, you might need to remove that in order for it to work and with G-hook stuff on there. Again, this was specifically designed for Swift Clip compatible items, so only the buckles will typically work, so you'd have to remove those in order to get the G-hooks to work on there, Lady Boner. Okay, let's keep scrolling down, keep scrolling through. And what's my favorite Airsoft YouTuber? That's a good question. Dark Tree. I'll get to that one. Who's my favorite Airsoft YouTuber? Honestly, like there have been a few that I've gone through. I've been just like you. I've had my share of like different content creators that I loved watching. And again, I don't really like to subscribe to just one. I like to look at what pretty much everyone's doing, just because I feel like it's good to see what everyone likes to do in terms of content creation. Although if I had to give my honest pick, if we're talking outside of GI, because I genuinely love our videos that we come out. I genuinely think our videos are freaking sick, very informative, very entertaining. But if I had to look at a gameplay perspective, I'd have to say probably Alphonse. I really like Alphonse a lot. He was like one of the biggest motivators to get into Airsoft LMGs for me back in the day. I just love how meme like focused and concentrated his videos are. It's so hilarious to me. I would probably say Alphonse is probably one of my favorite ones out there right now. There were other content creators that I used to really, really like, and I had actually gotten the chance to talk to. I actually also talked to Alphonse as well. You guys know, for all my regulars in the chat, you've heard the story many times. But there also were other content creators that I haven't mentioned, and I won't mention, just because again I used to be big fans of, but unfortunately, people either change or maybe things happen, and it kind of puts things in a different perspective. Kind of bring things that wouldn't normally be brought to light were shown, and really kind of changes your perspective on stuff. That expression, never meet your heroes. I don't know if I 100% agree with that, because I think there are genuinely some really really cool people out there, even airsoft content creators that are really cool. And I did get the chance to meet them, and they seemed cool at the time. But maybe just things change. Stuff happens. I don't know. It was just a little sad. It was just a little sad when those sort of things happen. And yeah, like the content creators that you thought you really liked just turn out to not be who you expect them to be. In other areas. It's kind of unfortunate when that happens. But yeah, yo, Dartree, why was I taken to custody? I watched it, bro. Trust me. I don't need answers for a lawyer help. If you guys don't know what we're talking about, make sure to watch our YouTube video on that, dude. It was so hilarious. That wasn't me that came up with that. That was Boaz, by the way. Boaz came up with that. He wanted to make that video. Obviously, it's about hell divers. Very much in the modeled after the spirit of Starship Troopers, where you have a very very policed and government monitored propaganda-esque media outlets. So whenever you have a news coverage like that, when they're putting stories out there, we wanted to make it seem as as propaganda-y and as like Big Brother watching you at all times kind of vibe as much as we possibly could. So it was just, what? Since we know you also play, it was like one of those things. Let's just throw him in there as well. That was his idea. That wasn't mine. But when he asked me for approval for it, I was like, all right, bro, do it 100%. My internet is acting up. It's really dude. I hate when that happens too. Just finished my order. Hope I got it in time. Hey, what? As long as you got your order in before 9:30 p.m. Pacific Standard Time, which is happening in 9 minutes. As long as you got that in before then, you're set, man. You're set, bro. You have those extra entries if you were following along with the promotions. Every $50 gets you 5 entries into the shopping spree giveaway, and orders for a Mayo Gang MGC4 will be getting you 50 entries. So get those orders in before it's too late, guys. You got 9 minutes now. Don't miss out. Again, this could be the last shopping spree giveaway we ever do, and I want people involved in this bad boy. That's what I was wondering, if the hooks are removable. This is what I'll say. There are, where there's a will, there's a way. Where there's a will, there's a way, Lady Boner. I think you're going to have to do a little bit of modification in order to get it to work. I don't think it was designed to handle G-hooks, if I'm not mistaken. I don't think it was. There are other play carriers that do, but I don't think that one was. Okay, make sure I don't miss anything. Okay, I believe I should be caught up. Oh, I don't have any beef or gripes with other brand, but it seems way overpriced to me, Alvin. Yeah. No, I 100%. I get it. There are options that are available out there. Obviously they're not the same. They're not the same. We're not the same. But for a lot of airsofters, it is nice to know that we are carrying more affordable options out there that will still give you the look and quality that a lot of people are looking for in this modern day of airsofting. Because I get it, I think most manufacturers too are also starting to get it as well. When we dropped our videos of how to get into airsoft for less than $200, or what are the best budget guns for this under the certain amount, those videos seem to do very very well, and that definitely tells us that a lot of people are looking to save as much money as they can, and that's totally understandable. Again, looking at where we are economically, but yeah, it is good to know that we are with the times and getting with them, and being able to accommodate a lot of people's needs for more affordable options that are still going to look very cool. All right. Oh, I saw a question there. Any SMG you suggest? I have my eyes on the MP5 SD6. Moises Hernandez. Ooh, that's a good question. Okay, there's a couple different ones. Whether you mean like actual SMGs, or do you mean like just pistol caliber carbines? If you're looking for SMG, honestly, again, the MP5 SD6 is not a bad choice. I would say if you want something a little more fun, let's see, is it still available? Damn it! This PMX was actually freaking sick. Oh, and it was discounted too, brother. That was so much freaking. Okay, that one was cool. It sold out though. Oh well. Hopefully we get our restock in very very soon. It depends on what you're looking for. It depends on what it is you're looking for. If you really just want to be able to complete that look and have that HK MP5, which, let's be real, the MP5 is a vibe. It's 100% a vibe. And if that's something that you've been looking to get, I would say go for it for sure. I would also say, if you want to save a little bit of money, I would also probably suggest maybe, it's not the same thing, but it's basically, right? Maybe one of these. Save yourself a lot of money. You can build it out to what you want to do. So if you want to get that SD6 look, yeah, it'd be possible. We tested it out. MP5 furniture and magazines are 100% compatible with this. Some modification is required for different stocks on there, depending on which stock you want to put on. But it will work. 100% it will work. So I would say this would be another option for anyone that's looking for an MP5 and you want to save a little bit of money. Something close, similar enough, this would be it. And you can definitely get it to look very similar because, again, the furniture is interchangeable. Take that knowledge for what you will. Okay. But there are other SMG options out there as well. It just depends on what sort of design and sort of look you're looking for. If you really want the MP5, that's what I'm saying. Just go for the MP5. Just maybe also go look at that one. Maybe, it definitely would be saving you money. That definitely would be saving you money for sure. Okay, let's see here. I'll scroll down the most recent comments and questions. There we go. And 8 inches. It's 12:30 where I'm at. I'm so tired, but I want to see who wins, so we're sticking it out. Aiden, just like I've been saying in the shopping spree giveaway rules, the shopping spree giveaways take place on Thursday. The giveaways themselves take place on Thursday. These streams are important to watch though because again, this is the time to be able to get those orders in, so you get extra chances of winning Thursday's giveaway. Yes, I was just wondering if it was compatible out the box or needed tinkering, Lady Boner. Oh, okay, that's what I was wondering if the hooks... Yeah, it needs a little bit of tinkering, Lady Boner. It needs a little bit of tinkering in order for it to be compatible with that. Oh, want to give a shout out to Ephraim, got himself 5 entries into the shopping spree giveaway. There we go. Again, guys, you got 4 minutes. That's it. 9:30 hits. That's it. I'm coming to... This is gonna be it. We are gonna be ending the stream right then and right there, and the promotions are gonna come to a close. So get those orders in now before it's over. Ruenzensky, do you prefer milsim or casual airsoft games? It's kind of hard to compare the two. They're just very different. I mean, I am a milsim player. I do typically mostly play milsim events with a few casual games spread out throughout the year. I love casual games. They're very fun. But I'll be honest, I definitely love the immersive factor that I get from a milsim event, specifically like milsim West games. I think those are the most fun because you have no idea what the fuck could be happening. Like, obviously, there are, things that might be planned out for the event, but it could literally go sideways depending on, how the players react to certain things, how engaged are they with the objectives. Again, because shit's always likely to change. Shit is always very likely to change at the, at the turn of a dime, with those. So I really like those types of events. And they feel just so, again, this is the immersive factor. It's just really hard to beat. But if you're just looking to have like a quick, fun time, then I would say casual games are definitely the way to go. Let's see, Enigma of the Dragon, any airsoft events that you recommend? Yeah, like I said, milsim West is obviously a very good one. When we do get a date established for a BB Wars, I'm going to recommend that you try those out as well. BB Wars are essentially a very, very light milsim event where there are objectives that need to be obtained or captured of some kind and that require a lot of teamwork. We try to make sure that the events themselves run very smoothly. They're simple, very easy to understand, but also, again, do require the participation of an entire team to get done. That's why Empire usually wins, baby. I'm kidding. I can't be too biased, but again, that's why Empire wins, baby. Okay. Make sure I'm missing anything. Do you have today? You may have to. Okay, answer that one as well. Hadn't played Helldivers 2 in a while. Let's see. Loved it for democracy. Dude, absolutely. I'm doing my part. That video, you know what's sad about it too is, again, that's why we need your help spreading the word about that, about the shotgun video, because man, oh man, we busted our asses for that video. And then when YouTube didn't let it share because of copyright, dude, it was annoying. It was so freaking annoying, dude. We finally got it, released out and everything. But it isn't tracking as good as we hoped it would. Just because, again, Monday uploads just really suck. And, again, YouTube's not sharing it around. So, again, if you guys can do us a big solid, obviously make sure you leave a like on this live stream, right? Make sure you share the stream around as well. But make sure you leave a like and watch on the main review video, that the last one we just did on the G&G ESG-10 shotgun video. Make sure to give that a watch. Share that around to as many people as possible. Really, really helps us out with that video. Because, again, we worked so freaking... We literally... We're out there in the blazing hot sun in that freaking armor. That was me next to Boaz, by the way. That was both of us. We were both in the mask. We were scorching our balls off, dude. It was insanely hot under there. And like by the time we got done with it, with that shoot, it was like, all right, cool. Now we have to film another shoot and get pictures taken as well for the when we filmed, what was it, the Arcturus FE models, the Arcturus FE video that went live I think 2 weeks ago. That video we filmed immediately after, so we were out there all day filming, dude. So please get the stuff shared around. Javante King, yo, Isaias just bought a Peck box and foregrip. Hey, that's what's up, Javante. You got yourself those extra entries, man. Any communication or recording equipment that you would recommend? Communication, I mean, get yourself any sort of radio that you like. I personally run a Baofeng UV5R. I run Peltor's, Peltor range guards, but you can honestly get, here, just type in, actually no, it should be a tactical gear section. Yeah, go under tactical gear. And we actually have quite a few options in terms of headsets as well that you can try out. These look very good. Like, they're really good quality. Like, really scary good that they're selling for this low, too. So I'd recommend checking those out as well. All right, guys, that is it. That's it. You know what time it is? It's 9:30 p.m. Pacific Standard Time. Guys, make sure to go ahead and get those orders in before it's too late. 8:30 p.m. Pacific Standard Time this Thursday is going to be the deadline to enter potentially the last shopping spree. While the promotions have ended right now, there are still plenty of opportunities for you guys to get as many orders into this giveaway as possible. And like always, guys, make sure that you share this information around as much as you possibly can. Again, if this is true, where the shopping spree is coming to a close, you know what? We had a good run, and I'm glad that we were able to build plenty of memories from this, and I was able to hang out with all of you guys. Hopefully this is not, but again, it's going to depend on how big of a turnout we get, how many people are participating in the giveaway itself. So, you guys, make sure to go ahead and share this around with as many people as possible. Let people know to get involved in the shopping spree giveaway. Let people know that it's super important that they're watching every single live stream if they want to increase their odds of winning. And again, just to hang out with the rest of the community. Guys, it's been an absolute blast hanging out with every single one of you. Big shout out to everyone that placed their orders during the stream. Y'all got your extra entries into this week's shopping spree giveaway. And big shout out to everyone, every single one of you that chose to spend your free time hanging out with myself and the rest of the Mayo Gang. I literally appreciate it so much. It means the absolute world to me that you choose to spend your free time hanging out with myself. Again, I'm going to be streaming tomorrow in the middle of the day, so make sure to go ahead and check that as well. Stay tuned for that, guys. Appreciate every single one of you. Hopefully you guys have a wonderful night. Take it easy, guys, and I will see you guys in the morning.